Welcome. Welcome and welcome back to my weekly true crime live stream. If you're new here, hi, I'm FEARSONA, you can call me Sona, and I'm your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber. Here to give you full body chills, here to be back from my little break, a week-long break. So it has been a while, I hope you guys are doing well. Yes, today we're talking about Ted Bundy, but before we get to that, I do have a couple of things that I wanted to discuss, some things, some cases, and true crime news that happened literally last week. A lot happened last week. Like, in the week when I was gone, I kid you not, I'm gone and all that shit is happening. But hello, hi, I see Gilberto, I see Demeaning Rope, Blue Kirby, IDK Bacon, Bacon, and Kronos, thank you so much for modding the stream. Just a reminder for everyone, please do go to the description of this video and follow the rules, read the rules, and we're good. IDK Bacon gifted 1 membership, thank you so much, Bacon. Are you still trying to gift membership to Kronos? Because it didn't work. It didn't work. It's been gifted to Jamie, so congratulations. It's still not. No, I'm just laughing about it because yesterday I had a Patreon stream. So in the stream on Patreon, like, we're hanging out. I was doing some karaoke, I was doing some chatting, and IDK Bacon was just trying to give Kronos the membership, channel membership, but it just kept not giving it to Kronos, so I'm sorry. But yeah, congratulations, Jamie. I'm sorry, Kronos. And welcome to everyone. Moonlight Dream, Anthony Vivenzio, hi. Silverjack, Undead Rabbit. Also, Fabian, thank you so much for the donation. Hello, guess who found some cash? Hope you're feeling well and can't wait for this case. Thank you so much for your generous donation. IDK Bacon, maybe one day. Exactly that. I'm sorry, it was just great. Loki Archive, hello, Detective. I hope you're doing well, and to whoever gave me a membership during the karaoke stream that I couldn't join due to not being a patron, thank you. That was IDK, that was Bacon. And Fabian, again, thank you so much for the donation. Okay, Elisa, got this case was an eye-opener for my high school law class. Made every girl in there afraid as fuck. Yeah, like you were asking, I think someone was asking if Ted Bundy was also going after like little boys. No, this was a different, I believe this was a different case. Ted Bundy was just targeting young women. But I'm gonna talk about it. But before we get to the case, today's case, Ted Bundy's case, I'm gonna go over some true crime news that happened literally last week, and boy, there is a lot. So you guys remember the case that I discussed last time, which is the Murdock murders. So last week we had testimony from Alec Murdock, so the person who was, charged with the murder of Maggie and Paul Murdock, Maggie's husband. So he took the stand and he was thinking he's so slick because he used to be an attorney. He used to be a lawyer. So he wanted to take the stand and convince the jury to that he did not commit the murders, but it didn't work because he got actually sentenced to life in prison. So this article says, on Friday, 1 week after Murdock, 54, spent hours on the witness stand trying to convince a jury of his innocence, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murders of his wife and son. Quote, he had to testify. There were too many lies, end quote. CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson said on Saturday. Obviously, the jury felt that he was conning them. Yeah, he was, honestly, like, I was watching it. Oh yeah, Eric was there. You guys were there for the case. If you haven't seen it, if you don't know the case, I did discuss the whole situation in the last true crime stream, and it was a lot. Like, I gotta say, it was a lot. It was so many plot twists. The plot was like murky, thick, and I don't know, just so twisted. But yeah, he got life in prison, and he maintained on the stand that he did not kill his wife and son, but he found the bodies after he came back from his parents' place, from his parents, like, whatever, like from the parent, like visiting his parents. But that was not true because he was there. There was so many like pieces of evidence that just pointed at him. And I mean, jury did not buy it. Panda King, hi, I'm doing okay. Thank you so much. Ducky Noodles says, I remember seeing this on TV. I'm glad the jury saw through him. Bet the lawyer who did cross-examination had a field day. I have to say, the prosecution did a much better job than the defense. Because I was watching it, I was watching highlights from, from when he was taking the stand from the trial. And yeah, like the defense lawyers, they were not sure. Like when they were asking questions, you could kind of like feel the uncertainty. I don't know, like they were kind of very slow to ask questions. They didn't ask the like very good questions. Just something to like mislead the jury and like show them that, oh, he has such a good memory, or like, oh, he was such a loving husband and father. And let's just like divert from the evidence, the damning evidence, like the video, the Snapchat that Paul, oh my god, okay, Katsuya just gifted 5 memberships, and IDK Bacon also gifted 1 membership to Ian. So still not Kronos, thank you. Thank you. And Katsuya gifted 5 memberships to Fabian, Cofield, thank you so much. Undead Rabbit, Elisa. Okay, Elisa got the membership. Ducky Noodles got the membership. Forgotten Wraith got the membership. No, wait. Ducky Noodle. Okay, that's the cutoff. But no, Kronos, I'm sorry. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, congratulations to everyone who got a membership. Felt like the Alex Murdock case would never end. Now it's over. I think it's over. Well, I mean, not necessarily because, I mean, yeah, they can still appeal. I think they're gonna appeal. But he's still gonna be charged like 90 charges on money embezzlement. So either way, he's gonna spend a long time in prison. But that's one case. Dude, so many cases happen. Like, I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. D says, whenever my friend Shadow404 comments on your live stream, his message gets hidden for some reason. So we are watching together on my account. Oh, I'm not sure why. I mean, if he, depending on what you comment, because like if you comment something that is maybe like has some, not allowed words by YouTube sometimes also like takes it, just kind of withholds it. But yeah, if he just sends a message hi, then I don't know. I'm gonna look into it after the stream, like what's happening. But thank you so much for letting me know. But yeah. I legit did not know how to get the membership. Maybe I'm just blind. There is a join, like on my, on the main website, main page of my channel. You can see the 2 buttons. There's like subscribe and there's join, and join should be the join the channel membership. So you can click that. YouTube is so mean. Yeah, it is. It is pretty mean. But it's also very careful. So I guess, yeah, like that's, that is a layer of security. Anyway. Ducky Noodle says, I swear if someone makes a documentary or movie about this case, I'm gonna lose it. Leave these poor victims and their families alone unless they get compensation from said movie. Which case? Like Alec Murdock? There's already a documentary. There's a Netflix documentary. But they did get the, approval from the family, like the families of, who was it? Mallory Beach, who was one of the victims, and Gloria Satterfield and, Stephen Smith. They talk about these cases and they interviewed people involved in the deaths. So I would assume they got approval. And it was a good documentary, I have to say. Like, they did a good job. Anyway, so this is one case. This is one thing that happened. So Alec is behind the bars. But there's another thing that is, that happened last week. And that is the murder of Abby Choi, who was a Hong Kong model and influencer. And I kid you not, her body, like, she was found dismembered in her apartment Apparently, she's this like influencer with like 100,000 subscribers or 100,000 followers on Instagram, and her body was found like dismembered in her apartment. And it seems like it's her husband. So, ex-husband Alex Kwong, his brother Anthony, and their father, all three of them were charged with the murder. Like, apparently they murdered Abby and they dismembered her body and just... Yeah, like some parts were found in her apartment, some parts were found somewhere else. It was terrible. It's, yeah, like, they were arrested, you know, it was very quick. Her husband was trying to, like, this motherfucker was trying to flee. He was trying to, like, escape from Hong Kong, and he was captured before he could leave Hong Kong. So, yeah, that's it. So this article says, wait, okay, so... the death of the 28-year-old mother has not only horrified the city, a city regularly ranked as one of the world's safest, but gripped much of the world's media with the grisly details of her alleged killing. So yeah, she was... Abby Choi, whose dismembered body parts were found along with a meat slicer and electric saw in a rental unit last month. So yeah, you know, this actually, like, you know, shocked everyone because it is a grisly reminder of other cases that happened, like the Hello Kitty murder from 1999. Sorry, I can't speak today. So this is her. This is Abby. Anyway, like, this reminded people of the Hello Kitty murder from 1999 when, well, the article talks about it, when 23-year-old Fan Mani was abducted by gang members and brutally tortured for a month before her death and dismemberment. Her skull was eventually found sewn inside a Hello Kitty plush doll. And I actually talked about this case in another stream. I don't remember if it was on YouTube or on Patreon. I think it was on Patreon. But I did cover this case before. So you guys, if you're interested, you can check it out on Patreon. But yeah, there was a lot of things that happened. And as I said, like, her ex-husband was trying to, to flee. And, his brother was involved, his father was involved, and his mother was also involved, but albeit not in the murder, but, in, like, covering it up. So all of them were arrested, and they are charged with her murder or with perverting the course of justice. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is, so this article says it follows a police investigation that began Wednesday after Choi, 28, was reported missing. 2 days later, parts of her body were found at a house in the city's Tai Po district. Police said a meat slicer, an electric saw, and some clothing were also found at the home. Choi's ex-husband was arrested on Saturday at a ferry pier on one of the city's outlying islands. Yeah, so he was trying to escape. His brother and parents were arrested on Friday. So, and then there's the fifth suspect. A 47-year-old woman was arrested on Sunday in connection with the case, police said. Choi, a model and social media influencer with more than 100,000 followers on Instagram, recently appeared as the digital cover model for luxury magazine L'Officiel Monaco, I guess. L'Officiel, I don't know how to read it, but and attended this year's Paris Fashion Week. So, what's with these problems with influencers? Hey, I mean, you get a lot of attention, and I don't know, maybe we'll see what the trial says. We'll see what the case, like the investigation, says later. Maybe it was jealousy, like she had an ex-husband. You attract a lot of attention, and well, things happen. Just stay safe. If you are an influencer, if you are a public person, I think your safety is, you have to really be careful out there. Nowadays there's a lot of haters. I mean, this was her ex-husband, but, there were other cases where it's like, oh, a hater just attacked someone. Anyway, said that they will join the Discord after the stream. Okay. No worries. Damn, that slime ball, get his entire family involved. Keep the whole clan what? Oh, yeah. So, well, I mean, I guess the whole family was just somehow involved. I'll welcome Shadow when he gets there. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, sorry. Damn. I think after yesterday's stream, my voice just goes, ah! Let me just have a sip of water. It's giving sexist murderer vibes. Like, maybe he hated the fact that his ex-wife was thriving and making a living without him. Possible. I mean, very possible. There's honestly, like, we'll see what the authorities say, or, when they kind of reveal, hopefully, we will know something more about the trial, about like what was the motive. But yeah, it's possible. Those poor influencers. Well, I mean, it's more like, if you are a public figure, then yes, you are, there's a higher chance that you have haters. There's a higher chance there's more people that don't like you because more people know about you. So it's possible, hey, I have haters. Hi to my haters. Sup? I'm thriving. Anyway, so, it's just natural that the more people know you, the more of a possibility there is that, you will get haters. Could be jealousy, and he thought she was cheating online. Well, I mean, she was his ex-wife, so it's not like, she could cheat on him because they're not together. But yeah. This kind of reminds me of when a YouTuber or any famous influencers had done shady things, like the family of, I think, 13 or 12. I don't remember, but that was just messed up to look at. I don't believe I know that case, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cases of, like, either, YouTubers or, influencers on Instagram or TikTok, TikTok murders. There are several cases, actually, and it's disturbing. Don't worry, Sona, I ain't no hater. Okay, I hope you guys are not haters here. Please be nice. Just please be nice to anyone. Not, I'm not talking about like, oh, please be nice to me. Well, yeah, be polite. You don't have to like my content if you don't like. I'm sure there's like a lot of creators out there that are gonna maybe align more with you if you if you don't like necessarily my content. I think there's plenty of content out there. Haters gonna hate. Yeah. Potatoes gonna potate. What's up to my fear haters? Yeah. Sup, haters? Okay. And that's not everything. You guys, I kid you not. This is like not the last case that happened last week. There's another case in Japan. There was a string of gruesome cat killings that has this Japanese city on edge, and the city in question is Saitama. I used to live there, actually, so yay! Good that I don't live there anymore. But there has been a string of very disturbing findings of dismembered cats around the city. And from what it says, the first grim discovery came when a woman found the severed head and paws of a brown speckled cat as she walked along the banks of the Arakawa River in Saitama City, Japan. Days later, what police believe was the rest of the body turned up on the grounds of an elementary school. Within 10 days, by the end of February, members of the public had discovered 2 more mutilated cat carcasses, one in a field and one on the side of a small town road. So they might, the article even says that, it might not be as, okay, these murders or these killings do not involve humans, but, Japan, like, the people are scared because it's not the first case like that started with someone, abusing, torturing animals. So there were, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a case of Kobe City murders. And it actually, okay, the article actually talks about it. The killings have stirred uncomfortable memories in Saitama, which in recent years jailed a cat killer who tortured several animals and posted videos of his actions online. That's another case. And then they also raised the specter of the Kobe City child murders of the 1990s, when a 14-year-old boy with a history of committing acts of animal cruelty killed 2 children aged ages 10 and 11 and injured 3 others. I remember, I believe this was the case of the murder case of Jun Hase. So Jun Hase was the 10-year-old boy who was murdered by this 14-year-old kid, another boy. Are they strays? I don't know. This article does not talk about whether or not these cats were strays. Yeah, no. I don't believe so. But yeah, there was, people are kind of scared because, as I said, there was this case of the murder of Jun Hase and another, the other girl was 11-year-old, and they were both killed by this 14-year-old boy who first was known to be cruel to animals, and he was killing animals too. And then this boy was just sending some weird, scary letters to the police and kind of playing with the police, haha, you're not gonna catch me. I think I do want to discuss that case at one point. It was very interesting too. And I mean, scary. So this is happening. The killings also come at a disconcerting time for schools in the area. Earlier this week, a teacher at a junior high school in Toda was reportedly stabbed by a student, sparking an evacuation. So things happening at Japanese schools. A Saitama police spokesperson told CNN that they had launched animal cruelty investigations and were looking into whether the various cat killings were linked. It is a crime to kill or injure animals in Japan, punishable with prison terms up to 5 years or fines for around 5 million yen or $36,000. Okay, one woman in her 80s told NHK, which is the Japanese news channel, she felt, quote, scared and uncomfortable at hearing the news about the cat killings, but the concerns go beyond those raised over animal welfare. Yeah, people are scared, so the police is, sending more patrols in the city, and they are also sending more patrols around schools because kids finish school and they walk home, and Japan is safe enough for kids. At least in Saitama, I saw all the time. I see kids, just small kids, elementary, primary school kids, just walking alone, going home alone. So they're just trying to increase the security. Should be the death penalty. I mean, animals are innocent, no matter what. Animals just, they have nothing. They don't, they don't commit malicious. That's not true. There's this yaggle that this one kind of yaggle that yaggle. I keep calling it yaggle instead of eagle. This one eagle that just straight up swoops mountain goats and drops them. It doesn't even eat them. It just drops them. So that's kind of malicious. But anyway, but yeah, it's pretty terrible. If you are cruel to animals, you are a terrible, terrible human being. So, get out. If you're I don't want you in my community. If you are cruel to animals, I do not want you in my community. I'm sorry. Should be longer. I think, 5 years, I think, for this kind of crime. Jesus Christ. Okay, there's a difference if you kick, I guess, just kick a cat and nothing happens to them. Still terrible. You're still an asshole, but you wouldn't go to prison, but for this, just 5 years in prison, that's pretty light. They use animals for therapy for a lot of prisoners. They save those men. And to torture something so trusting and cute is a damn sin. Yeah, it is. I cannot. The moment you're I sniff out that you're cruel to animals or you hate animals, I don't know, to this point? Jesus. Yeah, no. Don't forget geese. Okay, yeah, geese are assholes. But I still wouldn't torture them. It's fine. Let us exist on the same planet, just far away from each other. Wait, 5 years for each cat? Well, 5 years, I think, for overall. It doesn't say. It's just kill or injure animals. I mean, hopefully, if it's more cats, 5 years for each. Aaron, hi. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. Believe it or not, all of this happened in the span of the last week. So it's very interesting. Oh, yay. So much shit happening around the world. Woohoo. Okay, wait. They use... okay, that's... does using a spray bottle on a cat count? No, I'm pretty sure that's fine. Like, the cat is not, you know... It's not getting injured with a spray bottle. So it's fine. But, like, come on. The legitimate, like, animal cruelty, I don't know. Like, it makes you a garbage of a human being, and you really don't deserve to be, like, around people. What a crazy week. Indeed. Like, I literally go offline. I take a few days off, and that's when all the shit is happening. I don't know, the moment I announced that I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a few days off, and the week started, I kept seeing all those articles every single day. I was just like, Jesus Christ, what is happening in Hong Kong? Jesus Christ, what is happening in Japan? Like, what the fuck? And then Alec Murdock, the sentence, that was also a big news. There was another case in the UK recently that, but I didn't really read about it that much, but there was like a mother who went missing, and I think her body was found in the river a couple of days later. But yeah, like she suddenly disappeared on a walk while she was walking her dog, and she was on a Zoom call with her work, and then her phone, still logged into the call, was found on a bench, and she was gone. And they are still trying to determine whether or not there was any foul play involved. But yeah, that was, okay, I'm back. Let's see. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, about that last week. Sona, animals are innocent. Birds exist. Yeah, okay, birds are not innocent, but I would still not injure them, like I still let them pass. It's fine. We just don't exist in the same space. How to deal with hunger and overpopulation is cannibalism. I created the Pandora's box of solutions for world issues. Just a joke. KB, yeah, I mean, yeah, theoretically, but don't eat people. I think it's very bad. I heard it's very bad for you. Like, if you eat human meat. Not that I tried, but no, don't do that. Okay. Guess no more breaks for you, Fear. If you do, the world turns upside down. Yeah, like literally, I feel like the moment I get offline and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a week off, suddenly it's just like, oh, everywhere a murder and, unsolved murder case and some mysterious cat killings. I don't know, like if I ever take more than a week off, you guys have to brace yourselves because, be safe. Jesus, I'm gone and everything, like shit hits the fan. Seagulls suck. Oh yeah, seagulls suck too. Crows suck too. Ugh, all of them. Magpies. Magpies are evil. Pure evil. My cat did once wake me up by choking me. Okay, what did you do? Even then, I wouldn't hurt him. He's just hungry, and that's how he wakes me up, by choking. Is it though? Or maybe he has some like ulterior motive. Maybe he's just like, this is the time. This is the day. When I conduct my, put my plans in motion. Barbecue human. Oh God. Okay. Let me just have a sip of water and Alrighty. Now, let's get to Maisie, hi! It's been a while. It has been a while. I've been gone for a week, and welcome back. If I had a pet gator, I would call him Tim. Question mark. They need you, Sona. We need a hero among us. I think it's my I don't know, positive energy. Is it though? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I throw the world out of its balance when I get offline. When I take time off, it's just a crime world just goes like, oh no, the apocalypse. But yeah, maybe, perhaps it's a bad sign. I should just keep streaming. I should not, shut down this channel. Alrighty. Now we're gonna get to the case. The case of Ted Bundy. You guys ready for this? You guys ready? Because it's a long case and it's a lot of victims and it's honestly so sad, and the police failed those communities miserably. So very, like, huge fail on multiple occasions, which is insane. And I cannot, like, that's one of those cases, you know, that's yet another one of those cases that just like pisses me off so much because of the incompetence and like just letting the guy walk just because he's charming or whatever. But okay, let's get right into it. So Ted Bundy was an intelligent, some might say attractive, and charming man. However, he was also an evil-minded criminal. Ted Bundy became infamous when he was charged with multiple accounts of rape and murder in the 1970s. Gotta love 1970s. What can I say? You know, that's just, you know, 70s, fun time. Anyway, Ted Bundy confessed to a shocking 30 murders. However, public speculation believes that the true number may be way more. So, Theodore Bundy, or Ted Bundy, as he was referred to, was born on November 24th, 1946 in Burlington, Vermont, in the US. Bundy had an unfortunately difficult childhood, even though I kind of hate it. Well, I mean, I do want to talk about it because I think it's important to the story, but I don't like the fact that, so many like news. Oh, I did not like the fact that there was like this movie about Ted Bundy and they just focused a lot on like gaining sympathy for him, kind of like picturing him as this like, I don't know, like, oh, his relationship and like he was, I don't know. I didn't like the movie. Anyway, so he apparently had kind of a difficult childhood at the beginning. So Bundy's mother, Eleanor Louise Cowell, gave birth to him at the Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers. The identity of Bundy's father remains a mystery to this day. Eleanor claims that she was seduced by a war veteran named Jack Worthington. However, there is no evidence to support this. To avoid social stigma, Bundy's maternal grandparents claimed him to be their son. So basically, what happened was, Eleanor gave birth to him, and then she would pretend to be his older sister. It is thought that Bundy did not find out that Eleanor was his mother until he was at university. So all this time he thought that Eleanor was his sister. The family were known to travel and move houses a lot. For the first few years of his life, Bundy lived in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, but in 1950s, Bundy and Eleanor moved to Washington, to Tacoma, where they lived with some relatives. A year later, Eleanor met a guy named Johnny Culpepper Bundy at a local adult singles night. Later, the same year, the couple got married and Johnny adopted Ted, which is how he got the last name Bundy. So that's actually when the kind of relatively normal life starts for Bundy. So the pair had a few more children together, and Ted was often left to babysit them. But it's kind of normal. And then his stepfather Johnny was really trying his best to include Bundy in the family activities, but Ted remained emotionally detached from his stepfather and from his family. It just didn't seem like he was interested in building actual relations. Okay, so Ted was described as a good school student at Woodrow Wilson High School in Tacoma and even served as a vice president of the Methodist Youth Fellowship. What is interesting to note is Bundy's social skills. Throughout high school and college, Bundy remained shy and introverted, which is not really uncommon. However, it is said that later in his schooling, he became unable to understand social behaviors, and he had no idea how to get along with others. Some psychologists even say that he was, kind of a classic case of a psychopath. But, you know, just manipulative, just unable to really understand emotions, but, you know, still charming, right? Like psychopaths are often, like very manipulative. They can adapt, but they are not, these emotions are not real. Obviously, I'm not a professional, so I don't know well, but, you know, this is the image of a the clinical psychopath. Anyway, so in 1972, Bundy graduated from the University of Washington with a degree in psychology. In 1969, Bundy met a girl. So 72, he graduated, but 69, he met a girl named Elizabeth Klepper, who was a divorce secretary with a daughter. And you see them here in a picture. Bundy and Liz, or Elizabeth, dated up until shortly after New Year's Eve, 1974, when he allegedly broke up with her with no explanation. It was only a few weeks after this breakup that Bundy's infamous murderous rampage in Washington state began. While on death row, Bundy revealed a disturbing fact from his teenage years that, if noticed, probably would have saved countless lives. So Bundy claimed that from a young age, he had an obsession with sex and violence to the extent that he would search libraries for sources on crime. He stated that he would particularly focus on books and magazines that contained descriptions and depictions of sexual violence and murder. Who said this guy was charming? I mean, listen, I don't know. It's just one of those cases when they really focus on the fact that, oh, he was handsome, he was charming, even though it's very subjective. So like we might think he's kind of creepy. I always thought he was creepy. I did not think he was like handsome, but you know, well, that's not the first thing I focus on when I read about Ted Bundy. His looks, no. Damn 70s. Yeah, I kid you not. Like 70s, 60s, 70s. Jesus Christ. What was happening in the world? Okay. Have any of these people watched Clockwork Orange? No, I have not. Okay. Would Ted Bundy watch this stream? Well, he's dead, so probably not. Well, I mean, unless his ghost is watching, then sup, good thing you're dead. So it all began with just that. I mean, you know. Okay, so Bundy's crimes started before he had even left high school. So they were not murders, but they were alleged. Well, I mean, supposedly they were not murders, but they were kind of like petty crimes, including theft and shoplifting. Despite already being arrested twice in his adolescent years, the worst was yet to come. Now, as for Bundy's actual number of victims, to this day, it still remains unknown. And throughout his life, he had made several different claims. Sometimes he was saying that the first time he killed someone was in Seattle in 1971. Other times he would say that he killed 2 women in Atlantic City all the way back to 1969, so the same year when he met Elizabeth. Detectives Rule and Keppel, 2 detectives on his case, believed that he may have started killing as a teenager, but I will simply, you know, in this stream, in this case, I will simply stick to all the confirmed and documented attacks and killings of women that he had committed, and it is, you know, confirmed that he had committed them. And Bundy committed his first killing, his first murder in 1974, coincidentally the same year when he broke up with Liz. Wonder why. So Bundy's unfortunate first known victim was 18-year-old Karen Sparks. Karen was a student at Washington University, and she was also a dancer. She loved dancing. You know, she was this very vibrant persona on the campus. So just past midnight on January 4th, 1974, Bundy snuck into her basement bedroom before bludgeoning her with a metal rod that he had extracted from her bed frame while she slept before sexually assaulting her. Mind you, I watched a an interview with her. I did not know that, but he actually sexually assaulted her with that same rod. Like, she talks about it, but like, I'm not gonna describe it because it's gruesome. But you guys, if you wanna, see the interview with her, then yeah, now her name is Karen Epley. So you can look it up. Anyway, so Sparks was discovered the next morning after like 17 hours. These are pictures from her bedroom. She was discovered like 17 hours later by her roommates, and she was left in a coma, lying in a pool of her own blood. Astonishingly, Karen survived. Well, I mean, okay, so I was saying like, oh, it was his first murder, but it wasn't. Like, she actually attempted murder. So Karen actually survived the attack, but she was left with permanent brain damage from what she was saying in the interview. Like, she lost 40% of her eyesight, I think 50% of her hearing, and she did have, she did develop like epilepsy, but I think she got over that. But, she was like having epileptic shocks. It was terrible, like there is significant, brain damage that she has to deal with. Once Bundy got a taste of murder, he became addicted. It was observed that female students attending universities within the same area started disappearing at a rate of around 1 a month. And now I'm gonna go over all those disappearances, all those killings, and I kid you not, it's once a month. He was on a rampage. So Bundy's next victim was Washington University student Linda Ann Healy. In the early morning of February 1st, 1974, Bundy broke into Healy's room before knocking her unconscious and kidnapping her. It was not until years later that her remains were discovered at a common dumping ground for bodies of Bundys. He had like this one spot and he would just like dump the bodies. So many bodies were found there. So on March 12th, the next victim, 1974, 19-year-old Donna Gail Manson, who was a student at Evergreen State College, was kidnapped and brutally murdered. Central Washington State College student Susan Rancourt disappeared from the campus on April 17th. So yeah, a month later, 1 a month. Then the next victim was Kathy Parks, or Roberta Kathleen Parks, who attended Oregon State University and was last seen alive on May 6th. Wait, no. Yeah, May 6th, 1974. I'm getting like confused. But yeah, another one. And then after leaving the Flame Tavern in Burien, which is in Seattle or near Tacoma International Airport, on June 1st, 1974, Brenda Ball was also never seen again. Although the details are minimal, these disappearances were revealed to have been Bundy's doing. And, apparently it was like the same kind of pattern. Like, he would be just charming, or he would like ask them for help. And then he would just like kidnap them in his like infamous Volkswagen Beetle, the cream one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure you guys know the car, but it was terrible. He had like a murder kit in that car. Or he would break into their apartments and just like murder them. Okay. So horrifyingly, it is said that on several occasions, Bundy would return to the area in which he dumped the deceased bodies to have sexual intercourse with their decaying corpses. It was also discovered that in some cases, Bundy would decapitate his victims and keep their heads as trophies. Which, great. That's why thank God he's dead. Okay, so the Washington murder spree did not end there. Because in the early morning hours of June 11th, 1974, Georgianne Hawkins, who attended Washington University, became the next unlucky target. She was walking through an alley from her boyfriend's dormitory to her sorority house when she was abducted and never seen again. Okay, Jesus, Cronus is like, all right, I need a drink. what? Yeah, like it goes on. It goes on. I kid you not. Like as I said, like see, you can see it. It was like from January, once a month for 7 months, Bundy would kill one person a month. Like each month, it was January, February, March, April, May, June, and July. And in July, sorry, in June. Yeah, like in June, the last victim. Yeah, nightmare in Washington, I have to say. Jesus, like I would not, and you don't even know. You don't even know what to do, because it's like, okay, I should just stay home and lock my doors and, you know, not go outside because it's dangerous outside. But then on the other hand, he was breaking into people's houses and apartments. So it didn't really matter. Like you couldn't feel safe anywhere. Well, God, I need a soda. I need a drink too. Wait, because oh God. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. What the fuck? My home state is sounding dangerous right now. Well, it's... well, it's more like... Okay, it's more like it was the 1970s. I mean, anywhere can be dangerous, so please be... Wait! IDK Bacon gifted 1 membership to Kronos. Kronos got a membership. Let's celebrate. Finally! There we go. Bacon, thank you so much. That was like super generous of you. You gave so many memberships that... Jesus. So generous. Thank you so much. But yeah, yay. Kronos got his membership finally. Okay. But thank you so much. Okay, so back to the case. So yeah, you know, Washington, 1970s, fucking terrible place. I mean, anywhere. Also, honestly, 60s, 70s, 80s, that was like a terrible time too. I don't know. It was so many of those like serial killers in the States, at least. The most infamous cases, like serial killer cases in the States happened in that, like the 2 decades, 2 or 3 decades, just that window. Jeez. Okay. So as I said, Georgianne was the next victim. And then on July 14th, 1974, Bundy told his girlfriend at the time, so Liz, that he was going to head to Carkeek, near Seattle to suntan. I mean, spoiler alert, no, not for tanning. So while Bundy was there, he wore a fake arm cast to fake an injury as means of requesting help from 2 young girls named Janice Ott and Denise Naslund. After agreeing to help, Bundy abducted both girls during broad daylight. It is believed that Bundy disturbingly made one of the girls watch as he raped and murdered the other girl before proceeding to also kill her. Despite 8 different witnesses telling police the culprit was a man named Ted and giving detailed descriptions, Bundy was yet to be caught. So the police failed. Like, they got all those witnesses. Mind you, I think from what I remember, like I was reading that he, before Janice and Denise, he asked like 4 or 5 different girls, and 4 of them refused, and the 5th girl, she was like walking with him. She said, okay, she's gonna help him. But then they were walking to his car, and she saw from a distance that there is no canoe on his, because he would be saying like, oh, I need a help with my canoe, but my arm is kind of broken, so I need a help to take it off the car. Anyway, so the 5th girl would just like see that there's no canoe on the car or around the car, and she fled. But yeah, but then unfortunately, you know, Janice and Denise did not escape. So, you know, were the cops poorly trained back then? Jesus crispy squares. Yeah, like I mean, this is one of those cases, right? Like, it was the same for the Night Stalker, so Richard Ramirez. It was the same from, like, John Wayne Gacy. It was the same for Jeffrey Dahmer. It was, or the Zodiac Killer. Jesus, like, it was the same. Like, they just didn't, either some information was just lost and patrol officers just didn't know what to look out for, or they got the wrong description, or they just didn't care, or, you know, they just didn't care enough to like actually put in like a lot of work. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm probably wrong. Like they were working, but you know, they did put in effort, but like for some reason, like I don't know, was this ignored? Was the witness statement ignored? That they just didn't think to check, like, okay, a man named Ted driving a Volkswagen Beetle and, you know, with a cast. I don't know. Are we done with the Washington massacre? I mean, well, we'll see. Okay, so authorities were well and truly on to Bundy, with flyers being placed around the Seattle area and a police sketch and description of Bundy being placed in the local newspaper. So this is the newspaper from that time, as well as on television news reports. So finally, you know, something was happening. After the news broke out, about this person, you know, hunting in the area, like just murdering people, Bundy's ex-girlfriend, so Liz, one of his psychology professors, and a former co-worker, all of them reported Bundy as a potential suspect. However, the good student persona Bundy had earned himself during his university years resulted in the authorities not paying any attention to him, considering the hundreds of tips they were receiving daily. So, okay, they are receiving a lot of tips, and this guy just seems kind of like a model, you know, good guy. Like, oh, he's attending university, he's getting his psychology degree, he has a good reputation, he has a girlfriend or had a girlfriend, he had like a good job or something, and he worked in an office. And seemingly like he had this good image. So the authorities were just like, okay, this guy doesn't seem shady, we're not gonna investigate. You know, it just doesn't seem like the type of person. But that was him. I think that was the failure of the law enforcement. You know, like they just assumed because this guy seems like a good person and seems like, you know, model citizen, like, oh, there's no way. Mistake. Hannibal Lecter, if he wasn't a cannibal. Seriously. Of course it was but he's so nice, he can't be an assaulter and murderer. He has a good reputation. I know, right? Like that's it. That's the thing. Like, so, like a couple of them, I mean, wasn't it the same kind of with Dahmer? Like he was charming. He was just like, oh, you know, to the police officers, he would be like, oh, he just seemed harmless. And he would be discouraging police officers to search his apartment, at least in Dahmer's case, because he would be like, oh, you know, he was using the fact that police was kind of discriminating against homosexual people at the time. Like it was just that time when, like when gay people were just like discriminated against heavily and, you know, frowned upon and whatnot. So, which very, very bad. And yeah, the police didn't care. And also they were very racist too. So like there was like a, you know, right? Because that building in Dahmer's case, there was, I think the section of the city was like, oh, mostly like black communities. And he was just like convincing or whatnot. And he was this white boy. So I don't know. Charming guy. So the police was just discouraged from investigating him. They assumed a lot. I vote Fabian for police commissioner. What happened? Wait, university students don't commit murders. Washington police. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's like the older sibling gets the blame instead of the younger sibling situation. Seriously. Teddy, what? I want to facepalm the cops on the face with a steel chair. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, like when I was watching also the Dahmer, like Jeffrey Dahmer documentary and reading about the case, and I did the case too. Honestly, it was just so disheartening how the neighbors kept, the neighbor, the lady who was living next to him, she kept reporting it. The neighbors reported him so many times and they were just ignored because it was like a poorer section of the city. And the police was just like, oh, we don't want to deal with this. And also, he seems like a good guy, so we're just gonna leave it. Oftentimes, cops don't really ever take women seriously when the report about being stalked to this day. Oh, okay, when they receive reports about like being stalked. So police incompetence is very much likely, especially when it comes to cases concerning women. Yeah, like that's one, you know, cases concerning minorities too, like at least like, oh, back in the day, like back in the 70s, 60s, that time, like they were just ignoring it. Like, I don't know, they were just so unwilling to put in effort for, yeah, like cases involving like, oh, stalking or, you know, women being concerned about their safety. They were just like, oh, she's probably just hysterical or something, like, oh, emotional. And on the flip side, any concerns being like told to the police by like, oh, a poorer community, same thing. They would be like not as concerned. They would be like, eh, just okay, we're not gonna, you know, investigate as thoroughly as we would if it came from like a rich prominent person. Perhaps I'm just like kind of talking out of my ass here, but yeah, at least this is the image that I have in my head, you know. That's kind of terrifying. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so they were receiving hundreds of tips, and they did pretty much nothing because they thought, well, they pushed his profile, they pushed it, or the whatever, the tips about him, they just pushed it to the side because they're like, no, there's no way. He's a model citizen. He's this student. He's charming. He's, you know, seems like a nice guy. So there's no way. Get ready, chat. We're gonna make time travel reality. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Basically, oh, you're black/gay and live in a poor neighborhood. Not our problem. Yeah, that's honestly how it felt. Like when I'm reading these cases from like 70s, you know, 60s, 70s, I just, yeah, that's exactly, that's how it feels. It was, yeah, it's infuriating. Terrible behavior of the police. Okay, so next up, on September 7th, 1974, human remains belonging to Janice Ott and Denise Naslund were discovered off the Interstate 90 near, I think it's called Issaquah. Additionally, an extra femur bone and vertebrae not belonging to the girls was discovered. So it was 3 bodies. Well, I mean, 3 sets of remains. Much later, just before Bundy's execution, which was in 1989, he confessed that these remains belonged to Georgianne Hawkins, so the one that he murdered back in 1974 in June. Between March 1st and March 3rd, 1974, or sorry, 5. More human remains were found at Taylor Mountain, just east of Issaquah. These remains belong to victims Healy, Rancourt, Parks, and Ball. So the ones that were murdered in 1974. Ah, boy, a roller coaster ride. I think so. Yeah, wait, at least I forgot it. That had feature. Okay, I'm confused. Cops, boy, we getting all these tips that point to this Bundy guy, but he seems like such a nice guy. We'll just ignore them. Yeah, that's how it felt. Okay. So as I said, like this was between March 1st and 3rd, they discovered like human remains of the 4 victims from 74. And then with authority figures, oh, sorry. I just have to, yeah, okay. So with authority figures well and truly onto Bundy, he moved to Utah, where he attended the University of Utah Law School. So he graduated with the psychology degree, and then he moved to Utah and he attended the university for like the law school in Salt Lake City, and interestingly became a member of a church group. And this is actually a picture of from like a party. And the person who is in the picture, I believe the woman was like somewhat in charge of the group. Anyway, seeing Bundy never attended church gatherings, it can be believed that this membership was likely an attempt of Bundy to build an innocent, harmless persona again, and thus steer authority members away from suspecting him as the horrible criminal that he was. So again, same strategy, you know, like, oh, let me build this persona of a nice guy, of a model citizen, attending church, so there is no way I could do any, evil. Unfortunately, in October of that year, Bundy's disturbing killing spree resumed, this time in Utah. So we're out of Washington, now we're in Utah. In a single semester, I kid you not, in a single semester, Bundy mercilessly murdered Nancy Wilcox, Melissa Smith, and Laura Aim. Despite all these horrifying crimes, Bundy still remained a free man, and as a result continued the killing spree, because no one was suspecting him. Also, this was in a different state, and this is 1970s, which means the police, the information doesn't travel as much. It doesn't travel fast. The, police from each state, they don't really cooperate well. So it was easier to keep moving and keep killing because, they're kind of sniffing you out in this state. I'm gonna move to the next state. It's gonna take them a long time to communicate with the police from the other state. So, the police in Washington, they're searching for him, but police in Utah, they have no idea. So he's just going on, and, he's just, no one's stopping him. So in a single semester, he murdered 3 people. And then he continued. So this being said, the next victim was Carol DaRange, who narrowly managed to escape. So she's actually a survivor. So Bundy approached Carol in a shopping mall, and he was pretending to be a police officer, another offense, punishable by law, by the way, from the Murray Police Department. So he was pretending to be a police officer, and he convinced Carol that someone had been trying to break into her car and asked her to accompany him to the police station. DaRange accepted, and they drove for a short period of time before Bundy pulled off to the side of the road, where he then tried to handcuff Carol. Luckily, she was fighting off Bundy as much as she could, and she struggled, and accidentally, Bundy fastened both loops of the handcuffs on the same wrist. Frustrated, Bundy reached for a crowbar. However, DaRange caught it in the midair, just before it would have struck her in the head. She then desperately opened the car door and tumbled out of the car and onto the highway, making her the one that got away. So she did get away. Although this should have been the end of Bundy's gruesome murder spree, it shockingly was not. Even though, now there was another witness in Utah, and this time in Utah, she's an attempted victim, and, she was going to be the victim, but she wasn't, she escaped. Now she could report him. You would think, okay, he would stop, because he would be like, okay, I need to move on and I need to escape because they're gonna be onto me. No, he didn't. And it was, what's crazy? This is November 10th, 1974, right? It's still 1974. Within the same day, so Carol escaped. Within the same day, just a few hours later, Bundy attacked a Viewmont High School student, Debbie Kent. She was never seen again after she left the school drama club. Just before her disappearance, a strange man, apparently, it was reported that a strange man was seen lurking around in the area. The strange man was assumed to have been Bundy, prying on his next victim, as investigators later found a key that unlocked the handcuffs that were placed on Carol DaRange. So, this girl. Basically, the key to the handcuffs was later found in the area where Debbie would have been. And so unfortunately, Debbie Kent is believed to have been murdered by Bundy. In 1975, Bundy decided it was time to switch his location once more, and hence started conducting his horrifying crimes in Colorado. The first victim from Colorado was Karen Campbell, who was on holiday with her fiancé and his children when she was abducted by Bundy on January 12th, 1975. Her body was not found until February 17th, so a month later, 1975. On March 15th, ski instructor Julie Cunningham disappeared. While in prison, Bundy confessed to investigators that he used crutches to fake an injury. So again, same strategy, you know, like previously was a cast on his hand. This time he used crutches to fake an injury and approached Julie to ask for her assistance with carrying some ski boots to his car. Well, first of all, if you think about it, fucking stupid. Why you have ski boots? What are you doing in a ski resort if you have crutches? But I guess, yeah. You know, I mean, could have been injured, you know, if you think about it, okay, you could have been injured while skiing and you're just going back home or something. Okay, anyway, so he would request that she helped him carry some like ski boots to his car, and once at the car, Bundy admitted to bludgeoning her with a crowbar again and restraining her with handcuffs before strangling her to death. After this, a further 2 girls disappeared, including Lynette Culver, who was only 12, by the way. 12-year-old girl. So Lynette Culver and Susan Curtis. Susan was, I believe, 15. Just before his execution, Bundy admitted to murdering at least Susan Curtis. He did not exactly admit to murdering or abducting Lynette Culver, but it's just too much of a coincidence because it's like in the same area as he was there and he was hunting, you know, like that was his hunting ground at the time. And it's just, I don't know, like I don't think these two were ever like 100% proven to be by him, but you know, kind of coincidental. These poor girls were just trying to help. They deserved way better. Oh, I mean, all of them. None of them deserved death. None of them deserved to meet Bundy. None of them deserved what he did to them. And like, fuck that guy. And thank God he's dead. Fabian, thank you so much for the donation. And the Oscar for Best Actor goes to Ted Bundy. Jesus. I don't know. It's just like, when I imagine this, it's just so terrible. What a scumbag. Okay, so how did Bundy get caught the first time? Yeah, because there were more than once. So as Bundy's killings were continuing, investigators were hard at work attempting to prioritize their enormous list of suspects. Investigators cross-checked suspects from a variety of murder cases, and Bundy's name seemed to appear on multiple occasions, making him finally a key suspect. On August 16th, 1975, Bundy was finally arrested in Salt Lake City after he failed to stop for a police officer, which resulted in a thorough search of his vehicle, where authorities found a ski mask, a crowbar, and handcuffs. So basically his little murder kit. Upon being questioned about the unusual items in his car, Bundy remained calm and claimed that he just found them on the side of the road and decided to take them for some unknown reason. I don't know, stupid, but yeah. But he claimed, oh, I just, I see Fabian saying finally, don't hold your breath. Don't be prepared because it's not over. That's not the only time he was. You'll see because it's terrible. It just goes down the hill from here. Okay, so he would just say, oh yeah, I just found those items. These are not mine, and totally, not my things. Luckily, Detective Jerry Thompson was able to connect Bundy and his Volkswagen Beetle to the Carol Derange kidnapping, and missing girl cases, which resulted in the police searching his apartment, where there was a mountain of evidence from victim Karen Campbell that was discovered. And then Bundy was brought in for a lineup before the ranch and some other witnesses, right? So Carol was the one who escaped before Debbie Kent was murdered. And she was brought in to see the lineup and point him out. So Bundy was identified as the perpetrator from both the Ranches and Debbie Kent cases. This breakthrough resulted in a week-long trial. Finally, on March 1st, 1976, Bundy was convicted of the Ranches kidnapping and was sentenced to 15 years in Utah State Prison. However, the case did not end there, with authorities pursuing murder charges for justice for the numerous other victims from different states. So while in preparation for a hearing in the Karen Campbell murder trial, Bundy was held in this building at the Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen. And get this, as Bundy was in the courthouse law library when, he just jumped out the window. Mind you, he was not guarded. Like, there was someone outside, but no one was inside the library with him. So he just took off. He jumped out of the building from a second-story window and escaped with only minimal injuries. So you can see there's this arrow that points at the exact window where Bundy just jumped out of. Homie just jumped out the window. He was like, woof, I'm gonna, you know what? I can make this jump. And he just jumped out. So 15, please tell me you meant 15 life. No, I meant 15 years for attempted kidnapping of Carol DeRange, and then I don't know if he was sentenced for Debbie Kent because there wasn't enough evidence, I guess. But yeah, but he, just jumps. He just figures, okay, I'm gonna bounce. Okay, so Bundy spent 2 days hiding out in an abandoned hunting cabin until June 13th, 1976, when he stole a car and drove back to Aspen. Bundy could have gotten away, but luckily a couple of police deputies noticed a vehicle with dimmed lights weaving in and out of its lane. So basically it was driving erratically. The vehicle being driven by Bundy was pulled over, and Bundy was almost instantly recognized and taken back to jail. So hooray, he's back. He's back in jail. Great. But despite being back in custody, Bundy did not settle and rather started working on a new escape plan. So Bundy's next escape occurred when he acquired a hacksaw blade and over the span of 2 weeks managed to saw a hole in the ceiling that was large enough for him to fit through. You can see the hole in the ceiling. This is Bundy's cell, cell room. So it was big enough for him to crawl into and, crawl into that crawl space above. Late at night on December 30th, 1977, Bundy cleverly packed books under his blanket to make it appear as though he was sleeping. So he's kind of following the same strategy as the Alcatraz escapees. I've covered that case a while ago, but the Alcatraz escapees, they also kind of made it seem so that they piled up some stuff in the beds so that it seemed like they were sleeping, but they were not in beds. He would just load some books in his bed. Can someone stop this man? Jesus, there's still a lot. There's still, oh my God, we're gonna get to the worst part. So he's, he crawled into that space. He just set it up so that it seemed like he was still in bed, but he wasn't. And he reached a spot directly above the jailer's linen closet. Luckily for Bundy, the jailer was away at the time, and Bundy was able to access the jailer's apartment and walked out the door. So basically, he walked out. He just crawled into the apartment and, and exited. Once again, Bundy was a free man. Then Ted Bundy stole a vehicle, and it stalled out in the mountain. basically like he was driving into the mountains to escape, but then the vehicle broke down and Bundy was basically stranded. He was stuck on the side of the road. Another driver gave him a ride into Vail, where he then caught a bus to Denver and boarded a flight to Chicago. Well, now it wouldn't fly because if you want to board a plane, you need identification. Back in the day, it was 70s, so you didn't really need identification, or you could use a fake identification. Like the level of security in, you know, domestic flights was just, it wasn't great. You could just buy a ticket and you could just, whatever, you can go. You don't have to show identification back then. Concerningly, the prison guards did not realize Bundy had escaped until 17 hours later, at which time Bundy was already in Chicago. So congratulations to the, you know, the jail guards, prison guards. Yay! Great work. Great work. Top-notch work, you guys. So Bundy had intended to keep a low profile, however, struggled to do so, considering he could not produce identification and thus he could not get a job. So he didn't, you know, he escaped from prison. He didn't have ID. And here's hell. An animal with no way out is the most dangerous. And even the sweet Mormons knew his evil. What? Oh, I mean, I guess. What the fuck? Lord have mercy. 17 hours. Yeah, did not register that he was gone for 17 hours. How, I don't know, bites me, I don't know. So, you know, he didn't have any ID. He couldn't, like, he was in Chicago. He didn't have any ID. He couldn't get a job. So he resorted to stealing. And Bundy's compulsion towards violence was just too strong, and only 2 weeks after his escape, he broke into a sorority house on the Florida State University campus, where he sexually assaulted and killed Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy by bludgeoning them with firewood and strangling them with stockings. And this was not over. This is the same night, January 14th, 1978. So first it was Lisa and Margaret, and then he broke into another house and he assaulted Kathy Kleiner and Karen Chandler, who, despite surviving, suffered horrific injuries, including broken jaws. After this, Bundy's hunger for blood only intensified, and so he broke into another house, Cheryl Thomas's apartment, and beat her to the extent that she was left with permanent disabilities. Terrible, terrible, and it's just one night. 5 people. 5 people in one night. 2 of them dead. 3 of them left with, as I said, horrific injuries, broken bones, broken jaws. Just terrible. Permanent disabilities for the rest of their lives. He was, I think, because he was like locked up for a long time, it just exploded, and it's terrible. That was a terrible night in, you know, at the Florida State University campus. I think everyone remembers to this day. And then on February 8th, Bundy abducted his final victim, which was Kimberly Diane Leach, and she was 12 years old. He abducted her from her middle school and murdered her before hiding her body on a pig farm. And you would have thought that Bundy would have learned from his mistakes. However, apparently he did not, as once again, his reckless driving caught the attention of the police, ultimately leading him to get caught. When police noticed that Bundy was driving a stolen vehicle, they pulled him over and Bundy gave officers a stolen ID. It was not until 2 days later that Bundy revealed his true identity to the police. He was prosecuted for the murder of Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy, and then the attempted murders of Cheryl Thomas, Kathy Kleiner, and Karen Chandler. Well, unfortunately, like, it would be much later that they also discovered that he abducted and murdered Kimberly Diane Leach. It's terrible, you know, terrible. My God, I'm such a bad case, man. Pisses me off so much. God. Okay, I think one of the victims from the sorority was actually religious and wish he didn't get the death penalty and instead got life. And seeing how much death was in this case, I understand. I see it. I get it. Like, I kind of understand why she would do that. I don't know who was it. I guess I didn't see that. I didn't read about it, but yeah, I see how it is. Like I think the foundation of some, or many religions is forgiveness, and is redemption. I think. Well, might be talking out of my ass, but, at least in, from what I can tell you, like, as I was raised in a, let's say, Catholic household, Christian Catholic household, like let's say foundation of Christianity is like redemption, is forgiveness, that, be kind of forgiving to, to other people, treat them as you would like to be treated. So I get it, like, why maybe she felt like, okay, there's enough death already in this case. So she thought, there's maybe some redemption for everyone, or second chances or something. But he had so many chances. I'm sorry, but I would not. I don't think I would be able to forgive. I in this case, like, I don't think I would be able to be forgiving. She's a better person than me. I had never been so mad. Yeah, same. I feel you, John. Like, I feel the same. I'm so mad about this case that I don't think it's admirable that she would be able to be that forgiving, but I would not. I'm too much of a petty queen. So yeah, no. Death row for him. That's what happened, and I think that was just. I honestly think that it was just. Okay, so it is said that throughout the trial, Bundy sabotaged himself by continuously going against the advice of his lawyers. Despite being offered a plea deal that would have allowed him to avoid the death penalty, he surprisingly rejected the offer. And he also at one point just was his own lawyer. And then on July 24th, 1979, he was found guilty of the murders of Levy and Bowman, along with the attempted murders of Kleiner, Chandler, and Thomas. This is the infamous picture of when, the sentence was like read to him. For these crimes alone, Bundy was sentenced to death. However, in 1980, he was also found guilty of Kimberly Leach's kidnapping. As I said, at first they didn't know that he was the one responsible for Kimberly, but then they found out in 1980, and he was found guilty of Kimberly's kidnapping and murder, which practically sealed the deal. In the days prior to his execution, Bundy confessed to FBI Special Agent Bill Hagmaier that he had killed over 30 people between 1973 and 1978. And then on January 4th, 1989, so 10 years later, Bundy was strapped into the electric chair and was later pronounced dead. Due to the media attention, the case brought, the case just brought surprisingly like a lot of hundreds of people gathered outside the courthouse to celebrate Bundy's death. But there were also a lot of groupies. A lot of women a lot of women found him attractive. A lot of women were just kind of fangirling around him. And it's terrible. He also had a child with someone, I don't remember what her name was. Honestly, I was just kind of disgusted. But yeah, there was a girl who started like dating him while he was in prison. And I don't know if it was like a formal marriage, but she married him. And they had a child together. She got pregnant while he was in prison. So they had a child together. And yeah, he had a daughter. I believe the daughter's name was Rose Bundy. But then she changed. For reasons that are very understandable, she had changed her name. So we don't know what's her name right now. But goddamn, people are so weird. But yeah, that's essentially it. That's the case. Terrible case. I don't know. Jesus. Oh boy, I like that. He got the chair rather than the stupid injection thing. Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, it doesn't compare. It honestly does not compare to what his victims went through. It will never compare to that. So, you know, he never suffered that much, but I guess like a fraction, like a tiny microscopic fraction of what his victims went through. Maybe some justice was served. I mean, at least, you know, he didn't get out of it, and he was sentenced to death. So I think that was fair. I think that was just for all the lives that he's taken. I mean, it still doesn't equate to that, you know. It's still not fair because he got to live another 10 years. He still got to live longer than they did. So it's still, you know, it's still not fair. But, you know, at least he's not out there. He's like Jack the Ripper, but Jack is better. Well, I mean, Jack was never really found, so... I mean, he dead. It was in the 1800s, so I'm pretty sure Jack the Ripper is dead. I'm glad to say this. Finally! Finally! Seriously, it was so terrible. It just went on, and this case just went on, and when I was reading about it, I was just like, Jesus Christ, when is he gonna get, like, actually caught, and when are they gonna keep him in prison? Terrible. What a story. Yeah, like, I mean, tiring, very tiring story. I believe at the end of the day, forgiveness is for yourself, not the person that hurt you. What that person did can still hurt, but that person has no power over you. Now, that's what I thought. That's very smart. That's very wise. I think that is, you're right, Ducky. Well, forgiveness is ultimately, at the end of the day, it is for you. It is for you to be able to move on and just not kind of dwell in the past and still feel hurt for it. So about it. So yeah, if you can kind of forgive the situation, not the person, just forgive, be like, okay, I'm ready to close this chapter of my life. And it's, I guess for the girl, like, it's admirable that she wanted to forgive and she just wanted to move on. But yeah, I think the jury felt differently. They were just like, no, death row. Well said, Ducky Noodles. Yeah, exactly. Cursed ain't fair. Is it ever fair? The only consolation is his fear and shame as he was being dragged to the chair. Yeah, hopefully, he felt he felt a lot of pain. I don't like hurting people or anything, but you know. Oh, Eric, thank you so much for the donation again. Hybristophilia, and I thought I was weird. What? Wait, what is hybristophilia? I don't know what that is, but wait, did I miss it? I missed it. You must forgive oneself. Yeah, like I see it like, oh, it makes sense to forgive oneself, and that's mostly for like, okay, I am ready to close this chapter of my life and move on. I think it's very gracious of a person if you also can forgive someone. At the same time, and you're like not hurt by them, but damn, I don't know. I don't think I'm. But at the same time, I know like a lot of people say like, oh, you have to forgive and forget. I would say you can. Yeah, like I agree. Like, oh, you have to forgive in a sense that forgive yourself, but don't forget it. Well, actually, you don't have to forgive someone. I'm the type of person that I hold grudges. I do hold grudges, and I honestly think that if you can move on with your life without forgiving that person, and you just want to have that, I don't know, like sometimes it's also satisfying. Sometimes some people hurt you very deeply and they ask for forgiveness, but you have every right to say no. You have every right to say no and not forgive, and that's okay too. At the same time, if you don't beat yourself up because of it, and you can actually move on with your life without forgiving them, that's fine. That's completely fine. Okay. Hybristophilia, uncountable. A paraphilia involving attraction to somebody who has committed a crime or outrage. Oh, that's the thing. So the groupies, the serial killer groupies. That was it. That's disgusting. You can only go so far when it comes to forgiveness, because if someone killed my child, I would tell them that I hope they rot for it. No forgiveness for people like Bundy. Yeah, I would say like in extreme cases, like I think it's also completely understandable if you do not forgive someone, and like someone who hurt you deeply, but you can forgive yourself for not forgiving them. You can forgive yourself for like, okay, this was not my fault. I want to move on with my life and I'm gonna be happy, and I will not forgive this person because they are a piece of shit. That's, I think to me that's fair, and I have people in my life who I've never forgiven, and I'm okay with that, and I just move on. And I don't think about it anymore. There are some things you just can't forgive. What people don't know is that you don't always need to forgive to move on. Absolutely. As long as you can move on without it holding you back, you don't got to forgive. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I meant. Like, oh, if you can be happy and if you can move on with your life and you can live a happy, fulfilling life without forgiving them, you just acknowledge that, yeah, this person hurt me. They do not deserve my forgiveness, but I'm gonna be happy regardless, and I will not spare them a thought anymore. Then it's fine. Then it's completely fine, and you will have a happy life, and they can go F themselves. I say they can be used as examples. I remember in my class, one student being punished was enough to get the whole class to behave. Yeah, that's I think that works oftentimes in a class setting or any setting. In my belief, I leave it to karma. I can be a guy to forgive anyone, but at the other half, I leave it to karma to do the worst to them. Yeah, I mean, that's, it's just like, oh, something bad happened to them. Oh, well, they're not the best human beings, so kind of serves them right? Or like, they got what they got that karma. Oh, I love it when karma is so satisfying sometimes. Well, that was wild. It was a wild case. I can't seem to understand his addictions. Hey, Sona, off-topic favor. My cat just had kittens, and I would like you to name one, just to brighten up the mood. Oh no! What the pressure? Oh wait! I'm naming a kitten. Jesus. Okay. What? Can you tell me more? Like, what colors are there, or like which one do you want me to name? What color is the one that you want me to name? I don't wanna. You know what? The first off the top of my head, I thought meatball. I'm sorry. Can it be meatball? It's kind of cute. No. Okay. Oh my god, I feel so honored, but also like pressure is real. Jesus. Why are people like Bundy? What? Maybe it's something from birth. Virtues learned at home. Maybe it's something one saw at school. Honestly, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes, there are conditions like, someone being a clinically, diagnosed psychopath, and yeah, they have zero empathy, and there are like different issues within yourself that just are undiagnosed, and well, I mean, or in case of Bundy, or you're just like terrible human being, and that's it. Meatball. I'm sorry, that was my first thought. Shit. I love meatball. Fear has decided a name. Huzzah! No, wait. Maisie, there's 3 black ones and 2 orange males. I would say, or the orange male could be meatball. Meatball. I mean, that was my first thought. How about Kuro? A not common cat and dog name in Japan. No common dog cat name in Japan. Yeah, like that's pretty common in Japan, Kuro. Yes, Meatball, my cat Meatball. Meet my cat Meatball. Hey, Meatball it is. Okay, the orange one could be, like, pumpkin. Oh no, pumpkin. But Meatball just sounds nice. Spaghetti. Meatball is I don't know. Like, I mean, it could be Meatball. If you don't mind. Okay, Meatball has been decided. Oh my god. I named the kitten Meatball today. This is... Dear Diary, I named a kitten Meatball today. This this moment will haunt me forever. I mean, obviously you can change the name. I don't mind. It's okay. I was just, you know, this is off the top of my head. I thought it was a cute name. It doesn't have to be. Meatball the Angry Mob Kitten. Hey! Hey, Angry Mob christening. Meatballing. What's with the names related to food? I don't know. I like names related to food. My dog was named Coffee. It's cute. My hamster in the past, like way past, like way back when I was a kid, she was named like Bun or something, or bread. Well, I mean in Polish, she was like Bułka, which is like bun. It was just, I don't know. Sona accomplishment. Named a cat Meatball. Dear Diary, I named a cat Meatball and learned viewers' different perspectives on forgiveness. Love, fear. Yeah. See, I mean, it's good to talk about, like, our different perspectives on different concepts in life, you know? Like, I appreciate that people have different opinions. I respect it. We don't have to agree with each other. As long as we are civil, polite, and we agree that, hey, we're cool people. Yes, we can have different opinions, and we can disagree on some things. We don't have to necessarily talk about them and argue about them. We can just hang out and we can just be friends and accept that, hey, we're just different, and we can, you know, we don't have to be like-minded on every level. You know, that's actually the beauty of it. Like, I do have friends, well, that's kind of off topic, but like, yeah, I do have friends which, you know, who are wonderful people. I do not agree with them on, like, I don't know, if we talk about politics, on many levels I don't agree with them and they don't agree with me. But then we're just like, you know what? Let's just play a board game and let's just hang out and let's have a wonderful day. Let's have fun, and we don't have to argue about stuff. And we accept that we are different. But yeah, that's off-topic situation. Let's talk about our favorite dog breeds and cat breeds. Oh, Sona has friends? Yeah. I guess I do. Hey, I'm not like forever alone. I do have friends sometimes. As weird as that sounds. I want a meatball now. Same. Let's talk about our favorite dog breeds. Dog breeds. Pugs are derps. I don't think they're my favorite dog breed. My favorite dog breed, I would say it's, I mean, you know, like I had a English Cocker Spaniel. He was super cute. He was super great. I love those dogs. I do like Dobermans. I like big dogs, like Samoyeds. They are like dog cloud. There's too many, okay? I like animals. I like any animal. Yeah, you touch grass. I do touch grass sometimes. So that you should react to AI presidents playing video games. Perhaps next time. My friends became senile and forgot me. What? Why? Well, I mean, I won't forget. I won't forget. She's not alone. She has us. Exactly. See, like, you guys are here. You know, all of you guys are here. I appreciate it. You know, we hang out. It's great. I'm more of a cat person. I really like tabbies and Persians. Yeah, I mean, I'm an animal person. Person. Yes, person. I'm an animal person, so I just like animals in general. Minus spiders because they freak me out. They have too many legs. Minus snakes because they don't have legs. Minus birds because they have weird wings and also they kind of look evil, and geese are assholes and magpies are assholes. So we can coexist. However, I would not want to have a spider, a snake, or I have requirements, okay? Oh my god, no, the AI presidents. I might do it this week. I used to have a miniature Doberman. He ran away though. Oh no! Pit bulls are amazing. Society gives them such a bad rap. Oh yeah. No. I feel like, see, I agree with you, because any dog, like a domesticated dog, can be wonderful. I think all of them can be wonderful. It's more like the training, right? Like, it's the upbringing. So if it's a bad owner that trains them badly, then yes, the dog is gonna be dangerous. If it's not, you know, if it's trained to like be aggressive, that's the owner problem, not the dog problem. Fun fact. Well, I mean, they do have, obviously different dogs have different, I think that there's a word for it. Oh God. Like, it is within their genetics. It is within their, like, I guess, yeah, like the features, the breed features. Yeah, like they might be more aggressive. They might be stronger. They were bred for a specific reason, like hunting or whatnot, or protection. But it's still a matter of training. So, yeah. Babies exist. Pit bulls. Oh, no. What? No. Joke. No, like, as I said, like, pit bulls can be wonderful. Yes, they are, they are strong dogs. They can be aggressive, but they can be, like, aggressive when trained. Well, not trained. Okay. I don't know how to express that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yes, they are working dogs. They can serve as guard dogs, or as, very strong. They are very strong. But if they are trained properly, they're fine. Like, they can be around people. They're not gonna attack people. Yeah. Anyway, it's an owner problem. Are corgis the ones with spankable butts? Yeah, corgis. Bread butts. Nature is full of beautiful life. My favorite type of pit bull is the Puerto Rican rapper type. Whoa. Wait, rapping pit bull? Like Eminem? Wait, pit bull. Wait, or like the rapper pit bull. Wait. Oh, Jesus. I'm like Eminem? Wait. And then I forgot that pit bull was a rapper too. I like pit bulls despite their bad rep. I've never met such gentle, heavy dogs. Yeah, they're pretty cute. Like, I don't know, like I like how they look. I do see a lot of videos of like very like cute, wonderful pit bulls. So as I said, it's just the upbringing that can like direct them in the wrong, like it just can stir them in the wrong direction. I don't know how to say that. Like, right? I love how corgis are just known for their butts. Yeah, corgis' butts. Corgis' butts are great. Okay, you guys, that's it for today. We can wrap it up. Just a short announcement. There is a music video coming up, probably next week, or the second half of, hopefully next week. But if it's delayed, second half of March, along with new wallpapers. Hello. New wallpapers coming to Patreon. And there is gonna be an early viewing of the music video. So the cover song that the first time. So be kind, like, spare me a little. It might be terrible. But yeah, I promised in my Donathon that I would record a song and I would do a cover and a music video. So that's, that's happening. Hopefully this month I can release it, and there's gonna be an early viewing on Patreon, and there will be, alongside of it, there are gonna be 2 new wallpapers for my Patreon members. Music video, wicked. What am I talking about? Wicked. Chihuahuas or hellspawns. Oh yeah, Chihuahuas kind of freak me out. They kind of look like they want to set everything on fire, with their mind. So yeah, no, not necessarily Chihuahuas, but I would not hurt a Chihuahua. Like, they can be cute too. Just, there's just like, they are just one type of the dog that I don't really enjoy. Dang it, I wish I could have Patreon. Hey, I mean, you can. It's very easy to set up. So, if you want to, go ahead, check it out. Patreon.com/FEARSONA. There are different tiers, different perks. On the lowest tier, you get access to a lot of videos, a lot of weekly true crime live streams, or like, weekly live streams. Not necessarily true crime. Sometimes I do hangouts. Sometimes I do karaoke streams. Sometimes I do like just drawing streams, art streams, and just, or meme watching on just chatting. And we're having a great time. But yeah, there's more stuff coming. The early viewing of the music video, and the wallpapers coming up, and some merch perhaps maybe this year, hopefully. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Anyway, except the Chihuahuas that look stoned all the time. My family had a chihuahua for a bit. He was sweet, but couldn't housebreak him. Despite trying all sorts of things, we gave him to a friend that had more time to train him properly. Yeah, I think that's a good decision. You know, if you know what's best for the dog, then and if you do it because you know it's best for the dog to like give him away to someone else who has maybe more time, like better conditions, then absolutely fine. Anyway. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay, Patreon. Sona plushie, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. I have to plan for it. Sona plushie kind of difficult, but in the future, definitely. Like I would like to. When the channel grows, when I have like more capacity for actually like doing more merch. Because now it's like, you know, it's more like, oh, if I have a Patreon campaign, that's when I usually have like some merch for my Patreon members. We'll see. I mean, I would love to. One day I would love to have like, full-on merch store, and hopefully, you know, I would love to have it this year, but we shall see. There's some fun stuff coming in April, which Patreon members know about, but don't say anything. I showed them something at the end of April, and I showed them the design for something. But shh, that's a secret. That's a secret on Patreon. Sona playing Yakuza will be hilarious. I'm a Yakuza fan. Okay. Wait, okay, I have to check it out. I will plan streams for this week since I'm back. We will play some hilarious or infuriating games because there's gonna be a fuck this game stream this week. There will be some other gaming streams. There will be another True Crime Case on Patreon and another True Crime Case on YouTube. But I'm gonna publish the schedule sometime today. Okay, that's it. No snitching. Yeah, you guys don't say anything. If you're a Patreon member, you know what I'm talking about, but don't say anything. Maisie, fun stream. Fucked up shit though. Yeah, definitely. Love your chat. Love you, Sona. A new member has joined Angry Mob, Kronos, and Meatball. Yeah! See you all next time and stay safe. Stay safe, you guys. Fish game? I missed that game. Well, I finished the fish game, so not the fish game. Oh, never again. Never again. If there's a part 2, probably, but never again. No. This week, I think I'm gonna play... Either I'm gonna continue with I Am Bread, or I'm gonna play another one, which is kind of like a building game. You'll see. It's fucking infuriating already. Okay. So you guys, thank you so much again. Check out Patreon if you do wanna, see more of me in my little dark corner of the internet. And yeah, if you like this video, please take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification button to be notified whenever I show up in my corner, in my little corner of the web. And stay safe out there. Always lock your doors and windows. Bury your haxes. And until the next time. Bye.